The Late Show with Stephen Colbert is taking a big step into a post-pandemic world. CBS's late-night talk show is welcoming back a full, and the most important part, fully vaccinated studio audience starting 3 weeks from today. Now, this is the first network late-night show to make that move. Meg Oliver is outside the Ed Sullivan Theater. That's home of The Late Show. Meg, this is a really big deal, very exciting. I'm happy for the Colbert fans and for the Colbert team. This is good.
Gayle, this is so exciting. On June 14th, these doors will open and welcome some 400 audience members, something that hasn't happened since March of last year.
It's Stephen Colbert!
This is the Stephen Colbert we remember from before the pandemic, a host who loved getting up close and personal with his studio audience, even once graciously accepting an emerald ring.
It's not quite, it's emerald quartz, so it's not.
Oh, okay.
But when the pandemic forced Broadway and much of New York to go dark in March of 2020, The Late Show's Ed Sullivan Theater did as well.
As you may have noticed, none of you are here right now. Only people in the audience right now. Give me a shot of this. Only people in the audience right now are some members of my staff. Hi, guys.
The broadcast felt so different. Colbert and his staff changed the name from The Late Show to A Late Show.
Hey, everybody!
After a brief hiatus, Colbert was the first late-night host to return to the airwaves.
Welcome to my bathroom.
Broadcasting from his bathtub.
You're watching a very special social distancing edition of The Late Show, or as I now call it, The Lather Show with Scrub and Colbert.
Soon, he and the other late-night hosts did what we all did this past year, talked with people via Zoom, and they managed to keep the laughter alive without the energy provided by a live audience.
Thank you so much for having me. So good to be here.
Congratulations on the book. Well,
yeah, thank you so much.
This is as much as anyone is ever with anyone anymore.
But now Colbert has a chance to provide much more than laughs. In welcoming back his audience, he's bringing back a sense of normalcy and healing, like his predecessor, David Letterman, did just days after 9/11.
And it's very simple. There is only one requirement for any of us, and that is to be courageous.
Come June 14th, Colbert's audience members will have to show proof of vaccination, and face masks will be optional. And then, after 437 days and 205 episodes, A Late Show will once again be called The Late Show, thanks to this familiar sound.
Okay.
No one knows what Colbert will say tonight about his audience's imminent return, but Gayle, we understand you'll have a chance to ask him as a guest tomorrow. In his statement, Colbert would only say he's looking forward to doing shows again for an audience he can smell and touch.
I know. I think they're very excited over there, and good. You know, listen, they had to fill out a huge questionnaire, answer all sorts of questions, meet all sorts of requirements.
Right.
But can you imagine how they pulled this off, you guys, for the past 435
we went through it. We know what it's like. We actually did our show from that studio.
Yes.
And it with
But they
an empty
pulled
studio.
it off.
Yeah.
And it'll be nice to have an audience back, because an audience gives you energy.
Yeah.
And he's right. When you can smell it, when you can taste it, when you can feel it, you know what that's
Well,
like.
it's tough being a comedian when there's no
Yeah.
crowd to laugh at your jokes.
And musicians, artists, comedians,
Yes.
they also have a responsibility in moving things forward, right?
Yeah,
In
I
this
agree.
new normalcy, whatever it's going to look like.
I can't wait for. Oh, I'm curious about who's the first guest going to be June 14th.
That's a very good question. Well, we'll have John Batiste here later in the week. Maybe he can help us.
And I'll bet they won't tell us. We'll see.
Yeah, no, I bet they won't either.
Meg, we thank you again.